interrupt this program for a breaking news bulletin.
90 miles and counting. That's how far officers of the Nevada Highway Patrol have pursued the blue car on your screen.
In the X-Files, I played a character who had some kind of alien bug in his head.
It's pretty much every character for the entire series.
Exactly.
Exactly right, yeah.
And it was kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing, a play on the movie Speed, where if I wasn't traveling in a westerly direction at least 80 miles an hour, my head would explode. So David Duchovny is in the driver's seat. He got in somehow, and he's driving 80 miles an hour. And here's the difference of Vince Gilligan. Most writers would have written my character in the back seat, the guy with the bug, to be nice and help this poor guy. He's sweet. Yeah, David Duchovny, save him. We like him. Yay, good for you. But he wrote me despicable.
Right.
I was a horrible person, hateful, spewing, just a venomous kind of person, which put an interesting dilemma in his main character. Is this person worth saving simply because he's a human being?
Yeah.
That's what his lead character had to figure out.
I see what this is. I am not sick and I do not have the flu. Vicky and me were just some kind of government guinea pigs.
You think the government did this to you?
Oh, hell yeah, who else? You see it all the time on the TV. Oh yeah, you sons of bitches sneaking around my woods at night. I seen you. You think I don't know?
Well, on behalf of the International Jewish Conspiracy, I just need to inform you that we're almost out of gas.
For inspiration, I was borrowing liberally from two things. I was borrowing from the movie Speed, and I was borrowing from a fantastic episode of television. This was a great show, speaking of great shows. Homicide, Life on the Street. There was an amazing episode in which Vincent D'Onofrio gets pushed in front of a subway train in Baltimore, and he gets caught between he gets crushed, and as soon as they pull the train off him, they know he's going to die. So basically, the cops are trying to find this character's wife so he can say goodbye. Except the brilliant thing they did in this episode, the thing that stuck with me, is the guy's an asshole. The guy really is unpleasant, and yet at the end, you still have bonded with him, and you still feel sorry for him when they pull the train. You realize he's not just unpleasant because he's got a train on him. You realize he was that guy always, and yet you still feel his humanity, and you still feel for him, and you feel sorry for him. I love that episode of Homicide, and I thought, I want to do this episode where it's Mulder and this bad guy in a car, and this guy's going to die. I want us to sympathize with this guy, but I want to stack the deck a little harder against him. I want this to be more challenging to write. I don't want him to just be some nice poor schmuck who I'm going to feel sorry for when he dies at the end. I want him to be an asshole. I want him to be a creep, and kind of a racist and kind of just unpleasant anti-Semite, kind of a creep. And yet I still want to feel for him when he dies at the end of the hour. And Bryan comes in and he just nails it. He's like, as soon as he's done, as soon as he walks out, we're shaking his hand, and I looked at the other guys and said, OTW, which off to wardrobe. It's what you say when you essentially, like, that was the guy, let's stop looking now. Let's just sign him up. He was fantastic. He had everything we needed. He was scary. He was a fantastic dramatic actor, and yet he had some humanity that kind of came through, leaked out of his pores or came out of his eyes. I don't know what it was, that he committed 110%. And yet also he beamed out this kind of, I don't know if he's even aware how he does it, but he was nonetheless sympathizable.
You know. You all know exactly who I am. Say my name.
You what? I don't have a damn clue who the hell you are.
Yeah, you do. I'm the man who killed Gus Fring.
Bullshit. Cartel got Fring.
That's right. Now, say my name. goddamn right.
We read some really good actors for Breaking Bad, but I always had in my mind from the outset, I had Bryan Cranston in mind because I thought back to that episode of X-Files. I realized he was the whole package, and that I thought back to that sympathizability issue in that episode of X-Files, and I realized we had that need here. So Bryan Cranston for me was the guy pretty much from day one.
I related to this man. I knew men like him who missed opportunities in their lives and became functioning, was still functioning, still loving to their family, still paying their bills, but there's something that died interior. And they're putting one step in front of the other. They're in a deep depression. And in doing some of the research, I found that, you know, in broad strokes, when people are in deep depression, there are two basic ways it manifests, either externally or internally. Either externally, that son of a bitch boss, he screwed me, otherwise my life would be completely different, ready to fight, ready to blame my ex-wife or this jackass over here, or it's me, and I missed it, and I go into a shell. And that was Walter White. He went into a shell. He didn't care about his looks. He didn't care about his weight. He didn't care about his clothes. Nothing mattered to him. He was invisible to himself in the world. This ironic diagnosis of terminal cancer was his get out of jail free card. It exploded his emotion, even if it's just for a short period of time. Those last 2 years of his life were full and exciting, and I don't think he would have traded it.
You're buying the wrong matches.
What?
Those matches, they're the wrong kind. Red phosphorus is found in the striker strips, not the matches themselves. You need to get the big 200-count box of individual matchbooks. More striker strips, you understand? Those only have the one. And don't buy everything in one place. Do it piecemeal. Different items, different stores. Attracts less attention. Are you following me here?
Nice. Here you go. Found it.
Congratulations on the man you made of things. I'm trying to reconstruct the air and all that brings. And oxidation is the compromise you
There he is.
hold.
That's the guy.
This is beginning to feel like the dog wants a bone. Say,
Stay out of my territory.